But under Zimbabwe, there's a lot of things happening in South Africa in connection with our countrymen being denied treatment at hospitals and people getting kicked out of hospitals. Now, yes, according to human rights, that is wrong. But this is not our country. And the fact of the matter is that the regime kumboko wakauraya healthcare yedu, my hospitals, my clinics, no equipment, no skills, no nothing. They've broken the whole system down. South Africa has a problem where its government is now also at a point where Zimbabwe was 20 years ago. The theft and the corruption is getting out of hand. And what is happening is it is affecting service delivery. And as with every situation in this planet, whenever a group of people or a country is suffering, they have to look for a scapegoat. My scapegoats iko zvinezvi South Africa, ma Zimbabweans. Kana pasina mvura, ma Zimbabweans ndimi muri kushandisa mvura. Kana pasina magetsi, ma Zimbabweans ndimi muri kukonzeresa nyaya ineyi. Kana pasina mushonga muhospital, nekuti tarapa ma Zimbabweans awandisa. Every situation, every country that goes through a situation has to blame someone. And in South Africa, it's foreigners. But how do we fix our system? Kumba kwedu, kuti tinorapwa kumba kwedu. That's the topic of today. For whatever reason, South Africa don't want to help us anymore. That's irrelevant. We need to help ourselves. So how do we fix this? First and foremost, how many doctors and nurses do we have in Zimbabwe? And what are they getting paid? Well, the first thing you need to fix is the remuneration that people have. If a doctor can earn 10 times what he's earning currently, he will leave and go to where he can earn 10 times. That's not got anything to do with job conditions. It's just got to do with normal humanity. You will always go somewhere where you can get more money. Now, what is the issue in Zimbabwe? We've got 1,400 doctors roughly and plus minus 15,000 nurses. Doctors are getting $300-400 a month. Nurses are getting less than $100. You are not going to retain staff at that rate. You won't. Regionally in South Africa, a nurse is getting between $25,000 to $30,000 in 25 to 30,000 rand per month. In the UK, you're looking at about 2.5-3 grand, isn't it? So you're not going to compete trying to retain staff. You'll have a brain drain on the medical fraternity. Doctors in South Africa get anywhere between 60 to 120,000 rand a month, and in Zimbabwe you're getting $300. Where do you think that doctor's going to look for a job from? So first and foremost, we need to bring up the remuneration. How do we do that? Because someone's got to pay for it. So we've got 1,400 doctors. If we pay each doctor $2,000, that's $2.8 million that we need to come up with on a monthly basis. If we pay each of our nurses, all 15,300 of them, $1,000 each a month, that brings us to $15.3 million. If we add that up per year, we're looking at $217 million a year. Now, with those salaries, the doctors and nurses will still be able to go to places like the UK and South Africa and earn more than that. So we still have not competed on salary, but what we're hoping for is that the doctors and nurses will look at that and say, look, the rentals that I'm going to have to pay in those foreign countries, the passports and paperwork that I'm going to have to get in those foreign countries, the fact that I'm going to miss my family and not see my children, we are hoping that that makes up for the lack of a very good salary. But $2,000 for a doctor and $1,000 for a nurse is a very, very good improvement to where we are currently, and it is obviously a starting point. As VVZ, as our government, as the revolution brings in more taxes, obviously we will look at increasing those salaries. But that is very much doable. That is very much doable. The amount of theft that has been taken out of Zim, the amount of minerals, the amount of tax avoidance that's being paid, that amount of money can be found. There is no political will to do that. Second is the equipment in the hospitals. People need to work with equipment. Now, what do we do when we're looking at equipment? The dialysis machine costs plus minus 200,000 rand. That's about $10,000, $12,000 US dollars. for a dialysis machine. The incubator for a child is 75,000 rand. How much is that roughly in US dollars? We're looking at a new ambulance, a brand new ambulance. There's $180,000. But you can get much cheaper ones and you can get second-hand ones. We've got x-ray machine, anything from 20 to 60,000 US dollars. Hospital beds, anything from 1,000 to 3,500 US dollars. Now, I ask you a simple question. We've got some oak who's stealing money left, right and center, who's donating multiple vehicles to multiple celebrities, and those vehicles are valued at $150,000, $200,000. How many hospital beds could you buy for $200,000 if you are paying $1,500 each? How many dialysis machines could you pay on a $500,000 vehicle? If you were to trade in all the MPs' vehicles, the loans that were given to MPs, 40,000 US dollar loans, 40,000 US dollars is 2 dialysis machines. Sorry, it's three dialysis machines per MP. How many MPs do we have? How many dialysis machines could we have bought if Parliament decided to vote to take that money and buy dialysis machines? We could have bought a couple of hundred. Now, so the money is there. Do not be lied to. There is a budget. It's just going to the wrong place. And then the third and final part of how to fix healthcare in Zimbabwe. Kanauri MP, if you are an MP or a minister in the new VVZ government or the revolution government that takes over, what will happen is each of those MPs and ministers will get 12 months of private medical aid payments, which is exactly what's happening now. My MP, my minister, part of their package is free medical aid, isn't it? Right. So that will stay like that for 12 months. After 12 months, each and every MP will be forced to make use of government hospitals. Ukaonekwa uchienda kunorapwa ku hospital isiri ye government, unobviswa pachigaro chako che MP pogoitwa by election ikoko. Are we together? What this means is, if you want to fix something varanda Zimbabwe, you have to force government officials to use that facility. Munhu ane generator kumba kwake anoziva here kuti magetsi akatwa nhasi. Munhu ane bhoho kumba kwake anoziva here kuti mvura yakatwa nhasi. Hazivi zvinhu izvozvo. Ende shungu dzekugadzira zvinhu izvozvo haana, nekuti iye kumba kwake zvinhu zvake zvakagadzirika. And the sad part is zvinhu zvacho zvakagadzirika nemari iri kubiwa kubva kwauri wewe nenini. So we cannot demand that MPs must start using government hospitals as soon as they become an MP, because they were not responsible for the decisions that the previous parliament or previous government made. So we cannot force them straight away on day one. What we will do is we will give those MPs and those ministers 12 months to fix the hospitals to a point where they will be comfortable going to those hospitals themselves. Kana mhuri yavo yarwara, mudzimai wavo, mwana wavo arwara, they must go to Parinyatwa hospital. Kana vice president arwara, anofanirwa kubhururutswa wonomhara pamusoro peroof yekuparinyatwa hospital. Kwete ku China, kwete ku Russia, kwete ku UK, kwete ku Singapore. Muzimbabwe baba. And if you do not want to work under those terms and conditions, don't become an MP. Go into private. Kana uchida private medical aid, enda unoshandira bank, enda unoshandira construction company, enda unovhura company yako uzvibhadharire medical aid yako. We are not threatening private medical aid. Private medical aid will forever be there. There will always be a market for that, 100%, no problems whatsoever. But if you are an MP and you are a minister, after 12 months of a VVZ government, you will be using hospitals that are government run and owned. If you have not fixed that hospital to a point where you are comfortable using it, then you will be removed as an MP. We will find other MPs. Everyone wants to be an MP. We will eventually get the equation right. Minister of Health, you are given 12 months to perform. If you do not bring the standards in government hospitals to the equivalent of private hospitals within 12 months, all the director generals of the individual government hospitals will be retrenched and the minister will be replaced. That is the only way you are going to fix healthcare in Zimbabwe, by forcing those who can fix it to use it. But that is Zimbabwe. Wait, that's what I'm gonna